Yo, welcome to Hard Pass. I am your host, Jacques Slade. It's a show that isn't afraid to tell it like it is, like CM Punk coming back to the WWE as a correspondent on their new behind-the-scenes TV show on Fox Sports after years away in exile and general annoyance with the company. I just wish we got the same bag Punk's probably getting for doing so, though. Alright. Let's start with the news. Disney Plus just launched and a certain segment of Star Wars fans are not happy already because the infamous Han and Greedo scene has been altered yet again.
Han shot first.
This time, it's courtesy of George Lucas himself, who personally asked for this change before he handed the Star Wars IP over to Disney in 2012. I kind of admire George's ability to troll the fan base. It would be like Tyler, the Creator, kinda sorta teasing Frank Ocean as his secret headliner for an excited crowd and bringing out Drake instead and the fans revolting. Oh wait, that did happen. Yes, Drake is maybe the McClunky of rap at this point. In a totally different case of fandom gone off the rails, the much maligned Sonic the Hedgehog movie character design got a makeover due to oversized public backlash, and the result is a look that is now closer to the video game counterpart. Sure, we're getting a Sonic that doesn't look like a bootleg toy you can see at a shady discount store, but you can't have these creators caving each time the fans are unhappy. I mean, so what if the original movie Sonic looked like a kid's drawing of a man who dressed up in a homemade Sonic costume because their parents didn't hire the guy who had the real Sonic costume for the kid's birthday party? Man, our writers are really getting specific with these rants. Anyway, frequent Hard Pass contributor Kanye West, really, that's his official name on the show now, guys?
Yes it is.
He showed off his eco-friendly Yeezy runners that are made partially of algae, which apparently looks like the sneaker version of Sonic the Hedgehog's original movie character design. So, by that logic, if we complain loud enough, will the algae transform into something that we'd actually want to wear? Harley Quinn is getting an animated spin-off show, and unlike most DC comic movie dumpster fires, it's actually good. It's vulgar, irreverent, colorful, and most importantly, fun, which is basically what Harley and her on-again, off-again boss life partner Joker should be portrayed as. So, the secret is, like most things in life, the further away we get from Zack Snyder, the better. A Friends reunion special could be coming to HBO Max as part of the show's 25th anniversary. Hopefully, this is the one where they meet the cast of Living Single and they do the Spider-Man pointing meme for 30 minutes, because Chandler couldn't be more like Kyle if he tried. This week's rumors started circulating that Jordan Brand and fashion house Dior are working on a high-end Air Jordan 1 collaboration in 2020. As of the filming of this episode, we haven't heard anything official from both sides, so it's still possible that this could all be just an elaborate George Lucas level troll.
Han shot first.
But assuming it's true, the collab will be limited to just 1,000 pairs and retail for $2,000. It's like somebody at Jordan read the upcoming Adidas and Prada project and was like, hold my beer. I like to think it was MJ who said, hold my beer to Phil Knight, but I digress. Just like anything else Jordan Brand does to expand their reach and tap into markets that were previously inaccessible to them, like the Anna Wintour Air Jordan 3, it's met with a lot of angry tweets and forum comments about how this is a slap in the face of real sneakerheads and that they should be selling these for $20 and make 1 million pairs if Nike wants to make some real money. The whole point of a super limited and super expensive collaboration is to create headlines and build hype for a product as ubiquitous as the Air Jordan 1, which then leads to people buying general release Air Jordans, which then leads to your next door neighbor who couldn't care less about sneakers wearing the shattered backboard Air Jordan 1 mid because they saw it on a blog once. I'm all for the wild collaborations like this, but only if Jordan Brand actually takes it to the next level. If you take a look at the sneakers Dior currently has for sale on their stores, you'll see a lot of prices with a bunch of zeros right next to them, even though they look like fancier Chuck Taylors and Puma chunky trainers. If you want me, a humble struggle sneaker unboxer, to hand over $2,000 for a pair, I am a struggle sneaker unboxer, to hand over $2,000 for a pair of ones with that Dior touch, I'm going to need a few things. First up is the packaging, and I don't mean the shopping bag, although one with an all-over Dior print would be really nice. If I can pay $350 for a Nike Hyper Adapt and get a box that is full of goodies and wires, not unlike the media kits I generally get from brands, I better be getting a suitcase that needs a special Jumpman Dior branded lock to open. And in that suitcase should be another box, but of a higher quality than the shoe boxes we get at Foot Locker or the Nike outlet. It can be the same design as the standard Jordan in boxes, but it needs to have the Dior branding on there as well. The shoe itself, it needs to be of the highest quality leather. The laces need to be dipped in gold because why not? The tag needs to say Nike Air or Dior, and finally, it needs to be a colorway that we've never seen before and pops like the shattered backboard the first time you saw it. For $2,000, I better be getting all the smoke, Nike. It's time for the Heat Check, where we talk about the weekend's hottest sneaker releases, and I have to say, after a slow week last week, we are in it now. The holiday sneaker season is coming, and we are here to break it down for you. First up, something I'm really excited about, the Reebok Instant Pump Fury Boost. We're starting things with a potential game changer with Reebok partnering with Adidas for the first time. The Fury is a good silhouette to kick this off with, but once we start getting Reebok questions with Boost, then you'll know Adidas is for real in building up Reebok again, so Shaq will basically stop calling and asking if he can buy the brand. We hear you, Shaq, I get it. Nike LeBron 17 University Red, well, it's red and it's not October, but you know, that shouldn't stop you from picking up what is the loudest LeBron 17 we've seen to date. What should stop you? The $200 price tag.
Wait, what?
Maybe you should wait till it's on sale. Melody Asani Air Jordan 1 Mid. Now this Jordan 1 Mid is getting plenty of love as part of the Fearless Ones collection, and the mismatching multicolor pair even comes with a gold watch face for the Dubrays. It looks pretty cool. Saw those at Complex Con. And now for our picks of the week, the Travis Scott Nike Air Force 1 and Adidas Yeezy 380 Alien. Expect to see so many pairs of these on GOAT and StockX over the holidays that it's gonna drive you crazy. The Travis Scott is another hit in the list that is showing no signs of stopping. And the Yeezys, well, resale for the first colorway of a new model is always solid, so it's an investment piece if nothing else. All right, it's time for this week's Hard Pass, where we take a look at something in the culture that just needs to go, like Google possibly offering checking accounts in the next year. You know, Apple Pay and Goldman Sachs was just recently accused of sexist practices. Let's just hope Google doesn't get hit with the other-ist, and that's a big hope. Anyway, despite having an injured offhand that could sideline him for as long as the whole season or next week, depending on which Twitter doctor you follow, Steph Curry has stayed in the spotlight for all the right and wrong reasons. The right reasons, because he is still the face of a global brand like Under Armour and one of the NBA's few true super duper stars who command attention wherever he goes. The wrong reasons, because social media can't stop and won't stop talking about his legacy as if he's already washed. Sure, doubt the 21-year-old two-time MVP with 3 championships and a shooting touch that is unquestionably the greatest we've ever seen. But here we are doubting him again. Okay, not we, because I believe in Steph. I'm talking about a very vocal group of people that I think is actually pretty sizable both in media and in real life who think Steph ain't all that. So this week Hard Pass goes to Steph Curry slander because I'm not having any of it, and I'm a Laker fan, so I should hate him, but I don't because I understand what he's done for the game. Much like all things related to heated basketball discussion, it started with Michael Jordan. Granted, Steph has been getting a lot of pushback for years now, but MJ went ahead and threw one of those cigars he's such an aficionado of into the fire when he declared that Steph Curry wasn't a Hall of Famer yet.
Yeah, he's still a great player. Not a Hall of Famer yet, though. He's not.
Okay, anybody who has watched Michael Jordan through the years knows that he's kidding around when he says that, but there's enough ambiguity in there to give his fan base the go-ahead to defend him as if he's a fragile child that needs to be coddled and told he's great all the time. Did MJ mean that Steph Curry is not a Hall of Famer yet because he hasn't built up the necessary resume, which is absurd when you consider Reggie Miller is in the Hall for a few cute clutch shots?
Damn right.
Or so much Reggie slander here. This is supposed to be about Steph. Or that he's not eligible yet because he's still an active player. It's actually classic Mike. He loves to say that he doesn't get involved in GOAT arguments, but then he'll drop these little petty nuggets that you can interpret in so many ways. It's those little things that made MJ such a great Ric Flair style wrestling heel. Whether you loved him or hated him, you had to pay attention. And in this analogy, Steph Curry is like John Cena. Sure, he's super popular with the casual fans and the kids adore his every move, but his detractors who think he's broken the game they love can't stand him. And some of those detractors are some of the greatest NBA players of all time, like Charles Barkley, who never met a jump shooter he didn't want to punch in the face, and Oscar Robertson, who never met a person he didn't want to punch in the face. The Ringer's Ryan Russillo made a brilliant observation during the Bill Simmons podcast when he said that no star on Steph's level is disrespected more by players both current and past. Because Steph plays such a different style of basketball, it renders the way we've always done it obsolete. You might know the way we've always done it as pass the ball to the big man and let him cook. Sure, while the dish was often effective and got the job done, it was stale and boring. Jordan and Chuck on the post were the outliers because they were athletic freaks of nature. But when it was the Pacers, I had zero time for Rick Smith's post-ups or Mark Jackson backing down the other team's point guard for 20 seconds. We have such rose-colored glasses about the 90s and MJ that we forget the 77-72 Miami Heat New York Knicks box scores. In the time since, we've gone through the Kobe Shaq era, the 7 seconds or less Phoenix Suns, and Kevin Durant changing the perception of what a 7-footer can do. Steph, and by extension Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and the Golden State Warriors made shooting and ball movement such a point of emphasis and were so influential that I can now watch an Atlanta Hawks game because I know Trae Young is going to shoot from the logo. Instead of forcing Nikola Jokic to be a plodding big man whose back is constantly to the basket, he can facilitate the offense with deft passing and a shooting touch that extends to the three-point line. That's because of the Warriors, but really, that's because of Steph. He changed everything, just like Shaquille O'Neal did before him, and just like Michael Jordan did in the 80s. The difference now is social media, so the backlash isn't just limited to Sports Illustrated cover stories. Rest in peace. Now even Kobe and LeBron fans have joined in on the Steph hate parade, which I think is just a front because they're just glad there's fresh meat to pick on and their guy isn't being poked at as much. Even though LeBron haters came up with the wildest arguments for why he wasn't in the GOAT conversation, there was still a begrudging acceptance that he's at least the best active player going. Steph slander is so bad that he gets called a role player who had the benefit of a system and a roster that made him look better than what he really was. That's categorically insane. Like, there's something dishonorable about dribbling the ball for 15 seconds, taking 2 steps back that are probably travels, and shooting threes. Wait, oh, sorry, that's actually James Harden. Steph runs through screens, dribbles out of tough situations, and takes shots from impossible angles. It's so fun to watch. Like, you're telling me that in the past 5 years, you didn't once jump in the group text or on Twitter to talk about how Steph was heating up on a random Tuesday night? Steph was a catalyst for NBA Twitter blowing up like it did. But that's not enough for some reason. So what is it? The lack of final MVPs, which is a weird metric, especially when you consider he should have at least 2 if you actually watch those series. The Under Armour endorsement that includes the infamous Chef Curry's, his seemingly picture-perfect family that rubs people the wrong way because he didn't have the same upbringing as other players. Was it the Warriors being the NBA version of the New England Patriots and Steph was basically Tom Brady? I mean, really, what is it? I want to know, because I can understand an argument that Steph wasn't the best player of this decade. But when I hear somebody downplay him to the level of role player, all I want to say is, okay, boomer. So a hard pass to all the Steph slander because they can hate all they want, but I know when they log on to play NBA 2K tonight, they're going to pick the Warriors and run around like a chicken with its head cut off around the three-point line. Yeah, I see you 69 Smoke Dog 69. We know, and it's okay.
Why'd you just tell him my gamer tag?
Hey, gotta put it out there. All right, that's gonna do it for the show today. Thank you guys for watching Hard Pass. I am Jacques Slade. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week, but not before showing you how Mike Conley shuts down Donovan Mitchell right quick. All right, y'all. Peace.
You know, I think we just took us a while to wake up, you know, the quick back-to-back and all that stuff was, I know
wake
it
up
was in,
faster, Mike.
I know it was in my mind.
This guy.
Some of us are 30 years old or above, you know. ain't got 2 kids, so some of us can't just go home and go to sleep. All right? But